Coverage of the 2018 TechCrunch Disrupt is brought to you by Galvanize TV.
I'm Derek Rodriguez with Galvanize TV at TechCrunch Disrupt. We're here with Ian, the founder of GoFindHome. Ian, could you please talk to us about what your startup does?
Yes, our startup removes the pain of real estate. And in the real estate transactional world, on both the buyer, the seller, and the agent side, there's a lot of pain involved in not knowing the supposed unknowns and not understanding how to negotiate, how to do their own inspections and so on. Most people only buy or sell one house in their lifetime. And so what we did was we created a resource guide that explains everything about what you need to know about real estate, and then also has a rating system that basically matches agents with buyers. And the rating system is based on what kind of personal relationship you have with that agent, what are the professional skills, and how well do they understand you as the buyer. And also a rating system for properties that asks yourself the question, how do you perceive space, and how do you perceive space and time, and what is your relationship with the other person that's going to perceive the space and time that you're going to share with. The idea of that is to be able to have people change their perception of how they see the world in terms of, this is a place I'm going to live, is it an investment property, is it not? What gives it value? What gives the relationships you have with other people who are helping you get this place to give you some version of value?
Sure. And so for building these relationships, you talked about, the relationships that are being between the broker and maybe the folks that are selling the home. What has been the biggest challenge for development?
Developing the mobile app.
Yep.
The biggest challenge is being able to have developers understand what the big picture is. Developers, no matter where they are, they get caught up in the little bitty details, and they don't grasp the whole concept. So the same problem that they have in real estate about communication between buyers, sellers, buyers, and agents is that agents don't listen. They don't, a lot of times, and most people, they have one mouth and two ears, so they don't realize there's a reason for that, right? And so the same thing happens with developers. Developers don't necessarily understand the whole process, so it breaks it down. So when you have a mobile application that tries to bring it all together, it can be tough sometimes. And then the big thing is security issues with Apple. So the app was finished 4 times before it had to be resubmitted each time.
Sure.
That being a huge problem. So it's great to have everything in one package, but Apple sees every time you have to have additional payment as a new package. It's like doing 7 submissions for one app. Right.
Yeah. Well, so what are some next steps and milestones that you're excited about?
The next steps, the first milestone, we got it in the Apple Store about a week ago. It's been in the Google Play Store. The next milestone is I'm working with Ken, who has VR, and I met him at another conference, and we're going to add his VR for real 360 views into the app, because there's no other application that does that. And then we're going to be able to empower agents for a fraction of the price it normally would cost them to be able to incorporate 360 and VR into the mobile application and anywhere else. And then we're going to, we met with CoreLogic, which is the biggest provider of data, big data for real estate. And they have an API they're going to allow us to tie in to the mobile application. So you hit one button on the app, and you know all the property information for the last 200 years about that property, all within the app. Yeah, so that's it's significant changes, and the collaboration between my VR partner is that not only do we do VR, the part of the team that created the app has an AR team that's now going to add augmented reality to the VR, and we're all going to tie it together. So it's like creating like 3 teams out of 2 companies.
And for those watching, Ian's VR partner will be interviewing next, so please tune into that. However, do you have any advice for entrepreneurs, startups, founders? What would you suggest to them? I know there's a lot of ups and downs.
I think the biggest thing is you have to have a passion for what you're about, right? I spent the last 30 years in real estate development, sales, rentals. I still have managed properties. The big deal is you have to have a passion for what it is. It has to be real. If it's not real and you just want to jump on the bandwagon, you're guaranteed failure. At some point, you're going to fail. So you got to have that passion. It's got to be real. You got to have that 10,000 hours in to know what you're talking about, no matter what the industry is. You have those, and you just keep on beating down the doors, and you will get ahead. You will succeed.
Thank you, Ian. I'm Derek Rodriguez at TechCrunch Disrupt.